One example of a standard or conventional DMX-512 controller is the Elation Stage Setter 8. Although they actually refer to this as a 8-channel dimmer console, it basically is a DMX-512 controller. It has a limitation as much as it can only control 16 channels, but it works fine for small applications. So we're going to use this to operate the Servo-Pak 5. Its power up state. First of all, generally the lights are all blacked out. Push this button to turn that off. This over here selects the way that these sliders are interpreted. This down here to the third position, so that each slider represents a channel. This is the first 16 channels of the 512 available on DMX-512. And we're going to set these all to low, so that all of the outputs are off. This particular unit has a digital display here that will tell you the reading of any one of these channels. Actually, the last one, you can see this is 125. Make sure that we're channel per slider. Crossfaders you want off. You want the master, if there's a master gain, you want that all the way on. Standard servo, piece of double stick tape. Look for connector 1, marked there. Note, there's a black wire. You can't plug them in incorrectly. So verify that you've got a black wire to a black wire. We have our servo. We need a prop. Maybe this. Just stick him on there. Like so. So we've got our dinosaur mounted on servo channel 1. We're going to take the female, or the connector with pins, which is the input, connect it to the DMX-512 output jack. You'll be able to see that better. We're trying to show how we get the input to the Servo-Pak 5 to the output, the Elation controller. This should show it. There's sockets on the output, there's pins on the input. Makes it hard to mess up. Connect those together. This would be to daisy chain to subsequent fixtures of all types, lights, more Servo-Paks. Here's our power wire. Here's our Belkin USB charger. I'm going to plug that in. And you notice over here that as I change, okay, now that we have our first servo channel operating as we want, which is all the way off, all the way on, which like I mentioned, can be reversed, but we'll discuss that later. Let's hook up another one. So we get another servo. Now it's not necessary to remove power when you're removing and adding servos. What is important is that, again, make sure that you've got black to the black wire. See if it's plugged into channel 3, 4, 5. It's channel 5. Channel 5. We get another prop down there, make it a little bit easier to see. Okay, here we have all 5 servos hooked up, and we've got our dinosaur props on there. I set all the channels to 0 before I put the tape in the dinosaur props on the servos, so that I could be certain of the orientation. As you can see here, close in on these a little bit, you can see they're all pointed to the north. And if I operate slider 1, you notice that on the left hand side there, and there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Everybody say hi. Hi. So as you can see, if we put the channel to 0, we're all the way to the right. As we increase the value, we rotate to the left 255 different positions. There are servos available that actually have 180 degree, 360, some of them even have multiple rotations. But the effect is still the same. When the channel is a 255, it'll be all the way in one direction or on, and when it's 0, it'll be all the way to the other direction or off. And you set them anywhere in between here.